love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand.
On their way back from Athens in November, Pastor Johann and Sister Grace began to prepare for the next stages of the ministry. While they were in Athens, they were convicted that it was God's timing and that He had opened the door to share the gospel with the refugees from the Middle East. To enable Pastor Johann and Sister Grace to go to Athens for longer periods of time, while also remaining faithful to God's plan in OTR, leaders and teenagers began to step up in the church, and Pastor Johann created a preaching team. On Christmas Day, Pastor Johann suffered a heart attack, but by God's amazing grace, he was cleared by the doctors to go to Athens as planned in March. Our mothers also began leading Sunday school class for the teens, and God also sent us Prince and Sydney Lang from Remnant Westside Church, and we are especially excited to see how God will use them to impact the teens. In March 2019, Pastor Johann and Sister Grace were sent to Athens. During their time there, God brought many divine appointments, and they heard many stories from refugees and witnessed miracles. They met so many refugees, and it seemed like they were just waiting for someone to come and disciple them, someone who would teach them how to live as a Jesus follower. While they were in Athens, OTR Living Water Church continued to serve faithfully and hosted Spring Jam and Teen Retreat late March, and Kairos, a sister church from San Diego, joined us. God has been moving in the teens, especially this past year, especially in growing in friendship with one another. As they are growing in relation to God and to one another, our teens are stepping up and seeking to love on the younger ones and serve as helpers in Sunday school. What a blessing it is to witness.
You give life, you are love, you bring life.
This means that we all have sinned in our own way and have turned against Jesus, so He sent God to take the punishment of our sins.
Okay, so this is my testimony that I can write.
Please pray that our teens would have boldness and courage in inviting their friends to church, and that they would also witness God at work in the lives of their friends and family. Please also pray that they would be empowered to serve in the church. Following spring missions, the teens began training for the 5K. The theme for this year's 5K came from 1 Timothy 4:8. For physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. We pray that they would continue to be trained to walk in the likeness of Jesus. Just as the refugees were catching the vision of starting house churches, on April 20th, Pastor Johann suddenly went home to be with the Lord while carrying out his calling in Athens. It was so hard for us to understand the timing, but while we miss him dearly, we want to remain faithful as he was faithful till his last day. We are forever grateful for his faithful leadership, and especially for the Father's heart that overflowed to all those he impacted. Pastor Johann had a deep passion to go to the ends of the earth to make disciples of all nations, so we were especially blessed to be able to host AMI Institute this year and witness God's moving in the hearts of young people who were so eager to serve the Lord. This year, we sent out our very first one-year missionary intern, Trixie, to Taiwan. In July, we hosted our 19th year of July School, and we were excited to witness God move in the lives of over 60 people to come and spread the good news of the gospel in the streets of Over the Rhine. After July School, the team set out to do kids camp at the church and a local neighborhood for the children and breakthrough for the teens in the community. Even though we face some challenges such as heavy storms and limited locations, we know that God was still faithful. Not only were we able to encourage and teach the Bible to these children and teens, but we were also full of joy to witness them come to believe and trust their lives to Jesus. This year has been another testament of how faithful God has been to this community. We thank you for all your prayers and your continued support. We look forward to the many great ways that we will witness God's presence and His working here in OTR as we move forward, resting in His deep care for all those who have put their faith in Him.